All right, so Brian, this game is perfect for a couple of aim trainers that I like, right? And I'm gonna show you why. Um, what would be the best way to show you right now? Okay, I know how. Okay, so if I don't care, just pick anyone. All right, so let me get this right. We can leave it on easy. If you go to your crosshair, right? Go to your crosshair, and the inner lines, turn off movement error and firing error, right? You want those off, right? You can have whatever you want inside, like whatever you desire, right? On the outer lines, right? Hold on. You're gonna make it to where you're gonna play around with this with the outer lines, right? Because what you want is, I'm sorry, put movement error and firing error on the inner lines, right? On the outer lines, you're gonna turn it off, right? The inner lines, when you shoot, you don't want them going above the outer lines, right? So this is like an aim trainer for you to control your recoil, right? So let me show you. Right there is good, right? I had it at like 18. I put it 30. Okay. So you see how the inner lines, right? I don't know if you can see it, but if you see how the inner lines go like higher than where the outer lines are, once you see your crosshairs go past that, stop shooting, reset, and go back, right? That's gonna help you with your recoil. Like if you just go like this and stuff like that, like you don't want to do that, right? You're gonna have to play with the outer lines though, because right there's perfect. Okay, so once you see the inner lines go to the outer lines, you stop, you reset, you go back, right? That's what you want to do. This you could go to the games and just practice with this, right? It'll help you like, like control your recoil and stuff like that. Um, I did it for a while and it worked for me, right? I don't use this one anymore, but I did it for a while and it worked for me. The other thing is, let me turn this off, and completely off. Okay. So the other thing that worked for me, right? I noticed a lot of things like with your mouse movement. A lot of like me personally, I used to move my wrist, and that's not good, right? And I'm gonna show you why. If you move your wrist to aim and shoot, what's gonna happen is that the headshot level is gonna go down. Instead of being a headshot, it's gonna be a body shot, right? So if I start off here, right, and that's the head, right? If I move my wrist only, right? Do you see the difference of that? Like this is head level, and then it goes down into the body level. You see that? So you don't want to move your wrist, basically. What you want to do is move your hand, right? Like, and that's gonna take a while because there's a lot of people who play with wrists and stuff like that. So it's gonna take a lot of like practice, right? So what you want to do is, if you want to do it right, you shoot right, and then you move your whole arm. You see how it stays center? As long as you move your whole arm, right? Like don't move your hand alone, right? Move your wrist with your hand, right? Right there. See, I was doing the same thing as before. So another thing is posture as well. Like if you're sitting up, make sure you sit up straight, because if you're slouching, it's not gonna like it's just gonna throw you off. So if you sit up straight and you move your arm, right? Now your wrist. Yo, Ruka, you get it on? All right, so now your wrist, right? Your whole arm is a big, big difference. And the best way for me to show you that is like this. No. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. All right. So if I move my wrist only, right? If I move my wrist, right? This is head level, right? See what happens? Like once you see how it goes down if I move my wrist only, right? But if you move your arm only, right? See that? As long as you move your arm together instead of just like your wrist, because you're like, like just bringing it down. Kind of hungover. I figure that, bro. I figure that. Another thing also, Brian, right? Your grip, right? Your grip is a big part that I didn't know it affected me as much until about yesterday, the day before, I think. I think it was the day before. So I have a lazy grip, right? What I call a lazy grip is when you just put your hand on the mouse, right? And you leave it there, right? And then you just use it. That's a very, very, very lazy grip. And you should not do that. And I'm going to show you why. I tend to, every time I press my firing button, what I do is I tend to grab my mouse. And that makes it like, it gives it like a jerking motion down. And instead of being on a headshot, it'll move my crosshair down a little bit, right? And it'll mess up my shot. So before I used to do it like this, right? You see how, like, if I'm pressing it, once I'm going to press it, like, I move my mouse down. And that's not, for me, is not good. Because this is head level. If I press it and go down, it's going to go to the body. So what I do is, I curved my fingers more towards the buttons. That way, when I do press it, it's not, like, it's not pulling, right? So, like, over here is you can't pull your mouse, right? So over here it's just, you know, shooting. Like there's no more motion for you to grab the mouse. Like, if personally for me it worked. I don't know if it could help. Maybe it'll help you, but I think this is a very, very, very good idea to know how you grab your mouse. Like if you have a lazy grip, right? I'm not saying you have a lazy grip. I'm just saying that's what I'm calling it. If you have a lazy grip and you notice that you're doing that, right? Like if you're aiming and you notice that it's going down and you're not getting headshots, try a different grip. Even if it's bad for a couple of days, you're going to get used to it, right? So you curl your fingers. For me, I curled my fingers and now I don't grab it, right? Like I'm just, you know, like there's no room for me to jerk my mouse down when I'm pressing the button because it's already curved. So all I do is, you know, like, I mean, that's what helped me out a lot. But I know definitely the crosshairs inside that move to the outer crosshairs that don't move, that one helped me so much with the recoil. Also, Brian, you say you had this game, right? I would suggest you come to this shooting range right here. Yeah, I would suggest you come to this shooting range right here, right? Start with level 1. Put it on easy and just practice, right? All you want to do is just practice here. You can even practice with your aim down sights, right? Like it's everything is about here. Everything is about repetition, right? You start off small, right? You keep practicing, even if it takes you a long time, right? Let's say it's like you're slow at first, right? But as long as you do it right, you're gonna get faster, right? So you start slow, right? You take care of enemies, start slow, you know, keep going, right? Then you put it to level 2, which is medium. And then from here, you keep going. Once you feel comfortable in 1, you go to 2, right? You just practice. Just practice. This one's gonna be a little bit more challenging, but not as bad, right? Now, the third one, the one that I used to practice a lot, it's hard mode, but this is not really for aiming. This is more for reaction time, right? Like I explained it last time. For example, let's say I am coming to check this area right here, right? And I'm coming around the corner, right? If I come around the corner, right, I notice that there's a spot over there, which I'm going to check first, right? Let's say somebody's hiding back there, but I don't see him at first. I'm coming around to check this corner, but the training that I do is for the reaction time for me to see if someone is up there, then, you know, just to flick to it, right? Like it's just a quick flick. It's like a reaction. So this is perfect. From what I say, this is perfect for that. Like it's just, you know, quick reactions. And I suck. And I suck. I suck. Oh, that should have been one. I call bullshit. Uh-huh. But anyway, this is not the only weapon. Like for me, oh, also, so to get the reaction time down, I would say use the sheriff, right? Because it's a one shot headshot, right? It's very high skill level to use, so it's very difficult as well. But if you can get the, I would, yeah, if you can get the bleh, bleh, the reaction time down, you're good, right? You could just go back to another weapon. You could come back here, right? You could start it and just, you know. Like these weapons, this weapon is really easy. That's why I don't like using it because of that, right? This one makes it a lot harder for you to hit the headshots. Oh, I suck. I'm a bot. Okay, I'm done. But yeah, so Brian, try that out, see if it works, and hopefully like it'll help you like as long as it helped me.